Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Existenz. So we're not going to focus on Malevolent or B-Monkey. This is the Miramax triple pack as shown on Blu-ray. Existenz is 1080i on here, not 1080p. They also did a six-pack, which has the same exact disc. It's two discs, but more movies. And then 101 Films did one in the UK, which was a little better. It was 1080p, it was a little cleaned up. And then Turbine from Germany did one that's also Region 8 compatible. The 101 Films, I believe, is, and the Turbine is. And it's a little different than this one and the 101 Films, but they're all not great. So this is the 1080i version. The 1080p versions from Turbine and 101 look a little better, but it's not, I would say, night and day. I still think this one looks actually pretty good. There's also a single disc release from Miramax, and that's also still 1080i, so it's comparable to this. So this video is dedicated to a YouTuber I found recently who covers a lot of cheesy movies that I like, though more recently he seems to be covering martial arts because he's a martial artist, and that is Vampire. Vampire, or Vampire, sounds very close to vampire, so I knew we'd get on really well considering I'm Vampire Mike with a Y instead of an I. So, Existenz is a 1999 cyberpunk science fiction movie in the vein of something like The Matrix, created by David Cronenberg. Cronenberg's other favorite film of mine, this is one of my favorites, it's Videodrome. This also has some body horror modification stuff going on, but it is really in the vein of video games. So if you like video games, sci-fi and horror, definitely check out Existenz. The main plot of the story is there's a group of people doing a trial of this game, sort of like a closed group of people that go in, and everyone's sort of weird and quirky, and they jack into the game by plugging these like fleshy organic pods into their backs, and you don't know where the game begins and where the game ends. So you don't know if they're still in the game, if they're not in the game, what the point of the game is, who are real characters and who are NPCs. And throughout the film, this flips on its head. So they'll be playing, and you'll think they're in, the real world, and then they'll unplug or whatever, something happens, and then they flip back to being in the real world, and they were actually in the game the whole time. So there's lots of weirdness happening and overlapping of what's real, what isn't, what's real, what isn't, and you really don't know. Even the end of the film, without spoiling too much, you still kind of don't know. You think you know, but it's sort of left up for interpretation. The film has Jude Law and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Um, you'll know some of the other actors like Sarah Polley and William Dafoe as well, Ian Holm, but they're smaller parts compared to Jude Law and Jennifer Jason Leigh. They do a really good job with this. They they're sort of the story starts out that they're on the run because Jennifer Jason Leigh's character is a game designer and people are trying to kill her because they think creating video games like she does that you plug into yourself and go into your brain are manipulating society and there's something evil to it, and a lot of people are against that. So that's kind of the beginning of the story, but again, you don't know what of it is real and what of it is not. It didn't do too well, it looks like, in the box office. It only made around $3 million, where their budget was about 15 million United States dollars. It is a really cool film. Again, if some of my favorite cyberpunk films besides Videodrome are Johnny Mnemonic, because it's very cheesy, I know that, but I do love it, and Nirvana with Christopher Lambert. This is up there for me. I think Existenz is sort of an under the radar, weird cyberpunk sort of mystery in a way because you don't know what's really real and what isn't. It has a little bit of a cheesiness to it, but definitely isn't nearly as cheesy as something like Johnny Mnemonic. So if you haven't seen Existenz, I highly recommend checking it out. If you're into gaming, horror, and science fiction, it has some weird special effects with these strange bugs and things that are ripped apart during the movie. People making guns with like bones and teeth being used as bullets. it's got some pretty good special effects and violence in it, and it just keeps you thinking. And I think that's the best part of it. There are some little hints throughout the movie that people have spoken about online that clue in on whether they are in a game still or back in reality, sort of like The Matrix. So, thanks guys for watching. Big shout out to Wempier. Let me know, guys, if you've seen Existenz, what you thought. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.